All right. We're about to get started here. Hang tight. 2 more minutes and we're gonna get the party started here. We're gonna do some mining in Pyro tonight. Welcome to Infinity Tech, everybody. We are live tonight in the verse. We're going to give you guys a little bit different view tonight. Finally in the verse. Let's get things ready here. And let's get the music turned down so we're not blowing everybody out. There we go. All right. I'm giving you guys a little bit of a preview into my world as I stream here from the kind of an over the shoulder view. And I'm just making a few more adjustments here before we get started. There we go. Video quality should be good now. And let me know how things are for you guys. And welcome to Infinity Tech tonight, guys. We are live out in the verse, and we're in Stanton at the moment, but we are headed back to the homeland in Pyro. Sold off another 2 million in refined material today, so that's basically 4 million in 2 days. Not bad. And so we're going to get back out into the verse and get back to work. Let's see if we can catch that train. Oh, nope, he's already gone. Never mind. So welcome to Infinity Tech. We're live in the verse. We're headed back to Pyro. We just did a nice little mineral sell. I will say, I think there's a penalty for selling the tier S stuff out in this part of the universe. You probably want to sell it out in Pyro if you can, but I was going to one place, and so that is that. I guess while we're en route here, we might as well take care of this little problem. So we're going to head back into Pyro, go through the gate here in the Star Lancer Max, which has really just turned out to be a super useful ship. You can easily do 6 or 7 work orders with that ship. I know I'm littering in the tram right now. Probably shouldn't be doing that, but I am. And so we'll grab the Star Lancer Max and head back to Pyro. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 or 2 mining runs tonight on Ignis. That's about all I have time for, but go back and hunt for some more Rixite, as some people call it. And Styleron, or Stilleron, however you want to pronounce it. Now let me know what you guys think, either live in chat or in the comment section, what you think about the over the shoulder view. Kind of get a little bit of a view of my setup here. That white box on the right side is my machine. That's my gaming box. Hey, what's up, Chief? You on VoIP tonight? Can you hear me? Nod if you can hear me. I guess VoIP in the verse is just so hit and miss, depending on how people have their stuff configured, their audio configured. All right, so let's see if it works with this guy. I don't know. Does my VoIP audio work with you, big guy? Nobody seems to use the VoIP stuff. All right, we're headed off to a large hangar here. And then we'll be in transit back to Pyro. Long elevator ride to the large hangars, apparently. But the Star Lancer Max has actually been useful. So that's a good thing. And let me just get something switched over here real quick. Perfect. All right. Love the red outline around the ramp here. It's the little things that they did with the Star Lancer Max that make it pretty cool. All right, and up to the engineering deck we go. And then we will be on our way here. Actually gotta exit the elevator. Let's try that. There we go. You know, I'm interested to get everybody's take on the engineering gameplay that's supposed to be coming up soon. I don't know if I'm a fan or not. I mean, I get multi-crewing sometimes, but having to have somebody around to tune your quantum drive or whatever their plans are. There's that beautiful Star Lancer Max. I thought about the TAC, and that I didn't see as much of a use case for as the Max. So, all right, let's go ahead and get the Pyro gateway plugged in here. And let me know if you guys like this over the shoulder view that I have down the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And let me make sure that I have everything up here that should be up. Taking some screenshots earlier today. Okay, I think we're all set. Beautiful Star Lancer Max. Look at that. Let's get the gear up. And since I happen to be here anyway, and there's heavy clouds and a cityscape, what we're gonna do here real quick, just kind of show you guys what the machine is gonna do is I'm just gonna fly through the city here and kind of give you guys an overview. You can watch the machine performance in the top right hand corner of your screen. So I have everything maxed out here. And getting, I would say, pretty decent performance. I have the FPS limited at 120. I don't see any reason really to go above that. But what a beautiful job they've done here. So we'll pitch up a little bit more here, and there is Area 18 below us. I'm going to get the cruise control turned on here. And for those that are just joining us, welcome to Alpha Infinity Tech. We're live tonight in the verse, and we are headed back to Pyro, where we're going to do some more industrial gameplay, specifically mining. He's probably checking out my camo. And we got our shields up, so. So we'll be looking for quantanium, styleron, and rixite tonight. And we'll be taking out the mole. You know, if you guys would be interested in seeing some Drake gameplay or Prospector gameplay, you know, let me know. But the verse is busy tonight. And don't be afraid to say something in chat. Anyway, there are those beautiful clouds. Look at that. I do take a little bit of a performance hit in the clouds, but as you can see, the card is still, you see the GPU's at 97, 98% utilization. That's about the only time you'll see that. Okay. And I just, that gives me the opportunity to see if my chat overlay is working properly. Look how gorgeous it is out here tonight, though. Okay, so enough of the gawking at the scenery here. But we're pulling 105 FPS, 4K, maxed out on everything. Field of view maxed out as well, and photo clouds, as you can see here. So pretty happy with how the PU is performing. I don't ever see this kind of performance in the PTU. So it just goes to show that some performance can be impacted by server performance. Okay, let's go ahead and get nose up towards our quantum marker here and make sure that that guy is still not around. Yeah, we're out to 60 kilometers. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not going to get rammed here. And let's go ahead and get our destination calculated, and we'll get the heck out of Dodge. One more shot of those clouds for you guys. Really beautiful. And off we go. So we'll head through the Pyro Gateway, and then from there we will head to our final destination, which is Checkmate. Once we're in Checkmate, we shall pick up a mole and head to either Monox or Ignis or some other place. I'm not a big fan of mining on Pyro 1, so we probably won't be doing that tonight. But the reason that we're in the Star Lancer Max is because we did a refined material sale at Area 18 down at TDC, and I had 6 or 7 work orders I had to load up, so I put them on the max here. And I love how the cargo doors open from the bottom of the ship on both sides, as well as having the ramp available. Really nice. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So very useful ship for cargo transport. I've found that the Max draws a little bit less attention than the C2. So that's why I generally fly in the Max instead. There are a bunch of people waiting at these gateways to ram you, so you know you want to not draw attention to yourself by flying a full C2. And anyway, welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope you like the over-the-shoulder view that I got going on here. I'm working on getting a front camera view as well for you guys, so I can have a little bit more interaction with my viewers. And we're 60 kilometers out from the jump point right now. We'll go ahead and accelerate out. They really did a nice job on these gateways, so I have to say it really is pretty out here. Yeah, quite a few people out here tonight. 5, 6, 7. Wow, that was that Anvil Paladin over there. And a Carrack. All right, let's go ahead and get off the accelerator here and make sure that our predictive indicator is where we want it to be so we don't smack into anybody. Because I don't like how this is going. A lot of ships out here tonight, though. All right, let's go ahead and get the jump drive spooled up here. All right, we're coupled, we're in the right QT mode, and let's go ahead and get the jump point open here. And off we go. And we're running all A-grade components on the Starlancer Max, so industrial grade power, A-grade quantum drive, really good shields, A-grade shields. Can't remember exactly which ones on this particular build, but all right. So we're headed back to Pyro to make some money tonight. And as a solo miner, you should be able to average about anywhere from 500,000 to $1 million a run per mining run, you know. And you could do better if the materials break right for you, but most of the time you should be able to pull $500,000 to $1 million each time you pull the mole out of the hangar. Okay. And I'm going to get my shields up here while I get checkmate plugged in, and then we'll get out of the way of the gateway. People tend to come through that really fast. And just like to throw a scan out there, just to make sure there aren't any huge asteroids in my way. And here we are back in Pyro. In the lawless part of the universe. All right, let's get recalibrated here. Perfect. All right, on our way back to checkmate. Yes. And hello to everybody joining us on the stream tonight. Welcome to Alpha Infinity Tech. We're live in the verse. 432 is the current version. And we should be home shortly. But I think overall, the Star Lancer is my favorite ship to run cargo in. My favorite home base ship, of course, if I were to home base off of a ship, would be the Polaris. It's got a hangar big enough for a Mirai Guardian MX. Plenty of range. Lots of beds. You can put a ton of supplies on it. Good cargo bay. So if I had to home base from a ship instead of from New Babbage or another location, that the Polaris would be my home base. Anyway, guys, don't be shy. Say something in chat. Let me know you're out there. And let's get ready to go crack some rocks tonight. Looking forward to it. And you can see that quantum drive. I mean, we're just we're booking it right now. We're definitely going nice and quick. And make sure you hit that gear icon on YouTube. Select 4K, please. Want you guys to have the best streaming quality possible. And we'll see what we can find tonight. We'll see what the universe is gonna do for us. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger for everybody. And let's go ahead and get a recording going here. Perfect. And we are headed back to checkmate now for those that are just joining. And then we'll get the mole out and we'll go do some mining. Gonna want to make sure that I absolutely have enough stuff on board the mole, each one. So we'll want a couple of Sabirs, a Bormax, some extra passive modules such as the Riger C3s maybe. All right, and there is our home away from home. Got to be careful out in this portion of the universe. A lot of stuff sitting in space, a lot of asteroids, and then of course checkmate has antennas and wires and all sorts of stuff out there, so we just want to be nice and careful. And so what I'm going to do, I don't want to work out of a large hangar with a mole, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Star Lancer Max here. I'm going to get it stored, and then I'm going to leave the hangar and then call up a mole from the lobby. And there's that nice asteroid with the wire attached to it that I was telling you guys about. Gotta watch out for that. And there's our hangar right there. Speaking of asteroids, you see that asteroid right there in front of me, right off my nose on the left side? That one is, I've smacked into that one once already. So. Oh, great. I love it when that happens. There's our hangar. I'm going to try a vector land. For those that don't know, what you do is you get your landing gear down, and then you put your vector indicator right where you want to be. Like, for example, we'll get out of coupled mode here. There we go. And I'll put my vector indicator right down here, and that is exactly where the ship's going to end up. And it didn't work out like I planned, but it will next time. Done it a couple of times. I probably shouldn't have messed with it. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit closer here. There we go. And then we'll touch down. And then I'm just going to make sure. Horrible landing. Okay, let's get the power off. Let's make sure. I like to have a nice fully fueled ship when I bring it back up. I don't want to have to fuel it after I do that, so we'll do that. There we go. Perfect. All right. What is the deal with the sorry, the verse is acting a little squirrely with me tonight. There we go. All right. 4 evac pods right here. Lots of storage. All right, we'll take the elevator all the way out. Not to the lower deck. We'll exit the ship from here. Anyway, super happy with the Starlancer Max. It's turned out to be, there's very few ships in the verse that you can use as daily drivers that are utilitarian in nature, that you enjoy flying and enjoy using, and this happens to be one of them. So just a really nice ship. Okay, now let me know if you guys are enjoying that over the shoulder view. And welcome everybody to Alpha Infinity Tech. We're live in Pyro tonight. We're about to grab a mole here in just a moment and leave. We're gonna go crack some rocks. So step 1, of course, is we're going to store the Starlancer Max. And then I'm going to go up to the lobby because I don't want to work out of a large hangar all night. So let's go ahead and do this first. Okay, that's going to go into storage. And then what we'll do is we'll head back up to the lobby here. And then once we're in the lobby, we'll go to the ASOP terminal and we shall call up our mole. Hey, what's up, buddy? Are you on VoIP tonight? Nobody on VoIP? I guess not. Nobody uses VoIP in the verse. All right. Look like a miner to me. All right, let's go for mole 2 tonight. And now when we call up our hangar, it should be in a medium hangar. Oh, nope, still a large. I guess that's what we're going to do. Okay. My mole shouldn't have been called into a large hangar, but there it is. Okay, let's go grab the mole. Let's make sure that we have a few more things on board here. Okay, so I have plenty of modules. I want to go ahead and grab a few more cruise luxes. Actually, instead of taking I don't need 15 of them. There we go. Okay, so we have a max lift tractor beam. We got a weapon on us. Don't really need it. And there's our beautiful mole right there. Looks like she's fully repaired. I did a a little bit of damage to it the other day when I blew something. I'm not going to tell you what I blew up. You can probably guess, but I did blow something up. It was it's not advisable to overcharge a rock, especially when it's 70,000 in mass. Bad idea. Okay, we got our store all on board and a couple of modules just laying around because apparently we can't pick these up at the moment. Okay, so yeah, we got plenty of modules on board. I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple more of these in my store all. That's why we wear heavy armor and carry a heavy backpack, folks, so that we can do stuff like this. Okay, and I'll leave. I don't need to carry 3 Stampede modules. I'll just leave a couple of surges. We'll trade that out for 2 surges. There we go. Okay, we are all set. So we'll make sure our mole is fully filled here, and then we are going to be off to. I think I'm going to be mining on Ignis tonight. Really liked it. Really enjoyed it last time. I'm not finding a lot of tier S materials on Monarchs at the moment, so let's make sure that we're all. Yep, I was good. I made sure that everything was fueled up. And let's go ahead and get Ignis plugged in. Anyway, if you guys like the stream, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. And comment about what you think of this view over the shoulder here. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Clip the hanger just a little bit, but no big deal. Okay. All right, off to Pyro 5 and then Ignis from there. There's that asteroid. Got to watch out for that thing. Give you guys a little bit of an outside view here. This is Checkmate, and it is gorgeous out here. A lot of stuff. But like I said, enough gawking. It's time to get to work. Ignis is slightly further than Monarchs. If you're doing that run from Checkmate. Technically, though, I guess you could do it from Obituary as well. So we'll see what the verse is going to serve up tonight. Let's find out. And just a little bit of mining advice. I don't recommend stacking up more than 5 or 6 work orders, especially if it's more valuable materials. Like if you have a bunch of tier S or tier 1 minerals stacked up on work orders, that's a lot of money. And if there's a patch or something else happens, those work orders tend to go away. So I would maybe max it out between 5 and 7 and just be I wouldn't let those hang out too long. So that's kind of my limit. Once I get about 5 work orders stacked up, I'll make a run back to the TDC and Area 18, or if I can sell my refined materials someplace else, I'll watch the marketplace if I get a lot better price. I'm pretty sure all the tier S stuff you'll get better prices on that in Pyro than you will in Stanton. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Nyx. Yeah, we'll make that a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, and we got one more hop, and then we are where we need to be. Okay, we're gonna have to hit the orbital marker here before we have a line of sight out to Ignis, so there we go. Two. Gotta hit 2 of them today, huh? Okay. And here we are. All right, let's see if we can find that North Pole orbital marker. And that's definitely not it. There it is. And let's go ahead and get calibrated, and then we'll head down to the surface from there. And technically you could do it with any of these orbital markers, but I tend to do it from the North Pole orbital marker because I can see where daylight is. And I think what we'll do is we'll head for that patch right there. All right, so let's max out our acceleration here, and then we'll head down to the surface and we'll start some mining. I'll give you guys an outside view here. Yep, and we're maxed out at 960 meters per second. Perfect. And I'm going to try and focus. Sometimes I like to focus on really large rocks. You know, I'm out there hunting for stuff that's in the 50 to 80K or 70K. A solo crude mole maxes out, I think, about 70, 72 with this current configuration. I don't think there's a way to get past that. So sometimes I'll hunt for big rocks, you know, 50 to 70K, and just kind of focus exclusively on those. And then sometimes I'll hunt for tier S minerals, and that's kind of what I'm doing tonight, is I'm just looking for the valuable stuff. So the quantanium, the Rixite, the styleron, that's what we're hunting for. And I'm going to point right about there. There we go. So we'll head down to the planet surface here and see what we can find tonight. Like I said, it's what's the verse going to serve up to us? And hey, Huck, welcome to the stream, my friend. Glad to have you on. Yeah, orbital marker 1 is my friend for sure. I use it every time now. And for you newer folks that don't know, the reason that I don't hit a quantum marker just down to the planet surface really fast is because then you got to go 100 or 200K out from that, and you're still more likely to run into people. By doing it this way, the likelihood of you running into anybody are pretty slim. I have not run into one person doing it this way yet. So nobody will be bothering you. You'll be in an area that's probably not mined very often, if at all. You know, if you head down to quantum markers, every miner who's been doing this for a while has already run across rock clusters that have already been broken. So we'll just see what we can see here. Of course, I'm not hopeful because I can't scan at the moment. But look at that beautiful gray cat paint. Beautiful, isn't it? Anyway, Huck, thanks for joining the stream tonight. Glad to have you on, my friend. And I'm going to try and mine in the on the sunny side of the moon here for you guys. Oh, look at that view. Beautiful, isn't it? Let's get zoomed out a little bit more. There we go. And we should be seeing some atmospheric friction here shortly. There we go. All right, so we will slow down here in just a moment. But I'm not liking this fact that I can't scan right now. This is the second time I've run into this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to Alt F4 out real quick. And I'm just going to stop right here. So we'll do a full stop. Because I'm not able to scan at all. And so the only way to fix this is to Alt F4 out and try and come back in. So anyway, that's what we'll do. And here I was, you know, if you guys watch my video on NICs on the YouTube channel, one of the things that I mentioned in there is how far the game has come from a stability standpoint. But with 4.3.2, I feel like we've taken a huge step backwards. I mean, it's been just one problem after the other. And every stream, I feel like I'm having to Alt F4 out once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So one time I had to land, bedlog, and then go into the European cluster just to try and resolve the scanning issue. So I'm hoping that I know they're working on this stuff, but it makes life difficult. Okay, let's see if we can get back in here. And back we go. And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to get another playlist going here. Okay, let's see if we can.
Systems activating. Systems on.
Still not able to scan. Not good.
Shields off. Shields on.
So we may end up having to bedlog here. Ugh.
Landing gear down.
Yeah, scan's not working in any mode. No SCM mode is working right now, so. All right, let's see what we can do. Right about here seems good to me.
Landing complete.
All right, we'll leave the... Not liking that playlist at all. Let's try this one. So what we'll do is we'll hop over to the European instance and see if that'll work for us. Because not able to scan on this one at all. Again. So we'll lie down here. And we'll log out. And hopefully we don't end up on the same freaking instance we were on last time. When we come back to the US of A. All right, here we go. Into Europe. And if you guys know how to fix this scan bug, let me know. Otherwise, this is the only way I know how to resolve the issue. Michael, what's up, my man? Welcome to the stream. We are attempting to mine in Pyro tonight, but we're having some issues. Or we're not able to scan. So you hit the tab key on the keyboard and nothing happens. Okay, let's get chat turned off here. And we're still in the daylight here on Ignis. Fantastic. And look at that. Now we're able to scan. Unbelievable. And I landed right near a granite deposit. Isn't that interesting? Well, let's go see what we just happened to find here. All right, 52K on that rock. 12 on that one. And Michael's saying just got done checking out CitizenCon from 2 weeks ago. Had to miss it. Nick's looks awesome. Yeah, it does. I made a whole YouTube video on what I thought was really nice with CitizenCon, and Nick's looks incredible. I'm really actually pretty stoked about the Gen 5 Planet Tech too. So check out my YouTube video on that one, Michael. Let me know what you think of that. Okay, so now that we're in a section of the universe that actually works, let's see if we can get lucky here. So we're looking for quantanium, styleron, rixite. Oh, that's a nice terranite rock though. 44,000. That is a very nice terranite rock. I don't know. I think we're going to skip that tonight. So the nice thing, oh, there's a quantanium rock, but only 9,300 size. And I don't want to go home yet. I have not found any large quantanium rocks here. Those all seem to be living somewhere out on Monarchs, but that doesn't mean they're not here. All right, let's get back into scan mode here. Jeez, even at so we got a 17.5, a 17.9 signature, a 27.3. So, yeah, there's a bunch of wow, look at these. I totally missed these right over here. So all we did was drop straight down from OM1 here. And look at all this stuff. Let's go see what we almost missed right here. All right, get back into coupled mode. So we just passed on a 44K Terranite rock. We're looking for some better stuff tonight. Michael, I also put out a video on the Asperia Stinger. Very expensive ship. Got some positive reviews on that review. Okay, so that's a 26K quantanium rock. Let's see, and 34% of it. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is I'm not going to pass up 2 quantanium rocks. So what we'll do is there's a little 9K one over here. And what we'll do is we will, I think there was a 9K. Let's take a look here. Is we'll crack the Terranite first, I guess. And then go back for the quantanium after that. Let me find that other quant rock though. Yeah, there's the Terranite rock right there, 44. So we'll have no problem taking care of business on that. There's the other 9K quantanium rock. So we got 2 quantanium rocks that will bust. And what do we got? Resistance on this one's at 25. So what we'll do is we'll come over here. We'll get nose up about 10 degrees. And we'll go bust this little Terranite rock, this little 44K rock real quick. I would consider putting a bore max on it, but honestly, I haven't been seeing a lot of positive impact on the bore maxes lately. I don't know what the deal is. I'm not feeling it. So you guys let me know if you think that cluster modifier is really doing its thing. I'm not getting that. I have no idea. Oh yeah, I see. Consumables 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Not even gonna. No, that's the wrong deposit. There we go. I was like, why is the energy level coming up in that one? And we're almost maxed out, so I parked in front of the wrong one. Let's go fix that. The Sabir, I do see the resistance from that cut in half, so that works every time, and I really do like that, but I do not see a lot of impact from the bore max. So anyway, you guys let me know. There we go. Let's park in front of the correct rock today, shall we? There it is. Okay, we're gonna get about 30 meters away from this one and get nose up about 10 degrees, and let's go sit in our mining head here and get to work. And fear not, I do have replacement active modules on board, so if I blow through these trying to crack this rock, then I have extras. All right, is everybody ready? Are we all ready? Let's do this. Yeah, let me find a nice... All right, let's get that energy level up. Oh, not that much. Kind of overshot that one a little bit. I guess we're getting warmed up on Terranite instead of on something more valuable, so I guess that's okay. And we blew all our modules off, of course. Might as well take something home. Terranite. First rock of the night, mistakes will be made. Can we even get the energy level up in this thing now? Let's see. Huh, that's funny. And this is only a 27. We'll head up to the laser in front. We'll scoop this and then go park the mole and put some modules back on here. And then go get those quantanium rocks. Let's see if we blew the ones off the front too. Kind of looking like it. Just based on what I'm seeing right now.
Systems activated. Systems on.
Careful now. A little bit of lag there on that one. So, and this is obviously a Helix 2 with nothing on it. All right, let's go ahead and scoop all this.
Extraction mode on.
We'll get about 20 SCUs out of this little rock here. What's left of it anyway. Look how long that's taken just to scoop. That's pretty crazy. That rock may not have been my fault. That could have been a server side issue, but who knows? It jumped up really fast. Okay, we got 26.6. All right, we'll let the overcharge drop off on that one a little bit. There we go. Nice. All right, let's see if there's anything we're taking here before we go pop that quant rock. Terranite, 4%. Yeah, these are all going to be no good. How about this one in back? Is this one going to be a decent one? Or are we leaving that one on the ground too? Nope, we're leaving it on the ground. Okay. Let's go park the ship in front of that other nice quantanium rock and let's go put some modules back on. We'll unlock the ship ports. And we'll go put a Sabir on that quantanium rock and then we'll Okay, there's our other... All these deposits everywhere, just so close. Okay. All right, where was our nice quant rock? Was it at this cluster, or was it so the cluster on my left side over here? Let's go take a look. That's a 5700, so that's not the one we were looking for. Where were you? There she is. Okay. So let's see if we can get this knocked out before the sun goes down here.
Landing complete.
Okay. Yeah, let me see what I got in my bag of goodies here. Just make sure. I want to think about this. Okay, so we're gonna jump out of the did I unlock the ship ports? Probably not. Let's go do that. So what we'll do is we'll put some modules back on our Helix 2 and we'll pop a Sabir onto this rock just to get that resistance down a little bit. And it's right Alt K. There we go. Ship ports unlocked. And for those that are just joining us, welcome to Alpha Infinity Tech. We're live in the verse tonight. And I want to make absolutely certain before I do this. Let's go ahead and put some modules on first. Now with these, you got to be a little careful because they roll on you. So you see that? I have no idea where the stupid... There it is. Okay, we'll get the item aligned correctly. There's one. And we'll do a surge next. Yeah, these things just bounce all over the place. And where did my... There it goes. Wow. Look at that. So strange. All right. All right, let's get this one on next. Get it aligned correctly. There we go. There's number 2. And let's go ahead and throw number 3 on here. And that should be enough. Where did it go? There it is. There we go. And I want to head back up the elevator real quick just to make sure I remember which rock I'm looking at here. Normally, that's why I like pointing my mining head right at the rock. I'm going to put the mining gadget on here. I think it's that one right there, but we're going to find out. Yep, that's it. So where does this thing... It's like it's embedded. So really the only place to put a gadget on is going to be right in between these two. So I'm going to just park right here. That resistance is pretty high right now, so we'll see if we can go fix that. We'll stick a severe on it and then we'll go pop it. And what I'll do is I'll just slide in between these two rocks right here, and we'll put it on the Sabir right about there. So let's... All right, hit the detach button. There it is. And find a semi-flat spot here, like right there. Oh, not this again. Are you guys kidding me? The verse is just not being nice tonight at all. Lots of delay lag right there on just... And now my mining gadget is gone. Just disappeared. Well, we may end up having to do this without one. I have one more on me. I don't know. I hate to waste it, but we'll try it anyway. All right, let's try this again. Nope. All right, Universe is not cooperating with those mining gadgets tonight, so we're going to pop it without one, I guess. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. We'll do it without. Not liking the lag on the mouse, though. That's no good. But let's see if we can do this. Worst case scenario, we head back to the barn with 27 SCU of Terranite. But I don't want to leave this rock behind if we can avoid it. Okay, we'll move over and hit that tab button again. Move in a little bit closer, and then we'll get about 10. We'll pitch up 10 degrees, and then back to the mining head. For those of you who just joined, welcome to Alpha Infinity Tech. We're live in the verse tonight. Let me know what you guys think about that over-the-shoulder view on the camera there. I'm curious to get your feedback. All right, let's see if we can do this without blowing up this rock. Oh, that optimal's really small. All right, let's see if we can make this happen with no modules. I'm thinking no, but... Ah, too much lag. I can't do it. This one's gonna hurt. May have to hop back on the USA server, folks. This one's not working out for me either.
Attack on shields.
I mean, just so much delay.
Fracturing mode on.
Well, let's scoop what we can.
Extraction mode on.
We'll head back to the barn with what we can, and then we'll switch back to the USA server, and hopefully we can scan over there, because it is nothing happening over here. Might as well pop this one while we're at it. We got time. Nice and easy. Then we'll hop over in the Hofstad and scoop it. All right, let's go ahead and run over and grab what we can off of that one before we head back to the barn here. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up there on YouTube. Okay, let's go ahead and do some quick couple of sub breaks here.
Systems activating.
We got plenty of cargo space left, so
Extraction mode on. Fracturing mode on. Extraction mode.
So I'll just look for, that's all inert. Getting a little bit of Terranite out of that one, so we'll go ahead and scoop that one next. And don't stress about that countdown timer. We got plenty of time. We're doing great. I don't think I want to worry too much about that one. That's a total inert right there. What do we got right? We'll take that one next. There we go. And we'll bust this one to see if there's any decent in here. One shard at least. And then we'll scoop it and we'll depart. This will be a nice easy break. Back off the laser power at the end here since we're just riding the optimal all the way through. There we go. And let's go ahead and see if we got any decent shards in here, and then we'll grab that one. We're still only at 75 on the cargo here. And since I don't want to be here all day. There we go. That was a nice one right there. Another decent one right there. And I believe, my friends, that is That's going to be it. Unless, what's this one right here? Yeah, we're not going to bother with that. All right, so despite blowing up a bunch of rocks due to lag and other factors, we still managed to end up with a nice little mining run here. So what we'll do is we'll head back to Checkmate and repair our ship, get a refining job going, and then we'll come back for our second round. And I think I'm going to switch back to the USA cluster here. There's a nice sunset for you guys. Get the cruise control on. I'm going to get Checkmate plugged in. No, I'm going to seriously get Checkmate plugged in. Come on. Really laggy. Yikes. All right, we got 18 minutes left on the vault or cargo timer. Plenty of time here. We got 18.43 SCUs of quantanium on board and 41 Terranite despite our issues. So that run was not a bust by any stretch. It'll at least pay for the damage we did to our ship, which is good. Nice little view for you guys. And welcome everybody to Alpha Infinity Tech. Glad to have you guys on. What a nice view that is. Beautiful. All right, we're out of here. And let me know how the stream quality is for you guys. I want to get some feedback on that. And we should be back in plenty of time for... But we can always just get into mining mode and watch it right here. So we broke a couple of rocks, popped some mining modules off the ship. But because we upgraded our shields, it's not like the old days where you blow up your ship too. And we were 20 meters off those rocks, 25 meters at the most, I believe, when we popped them. So there's that beautiful gray cat skin. And so once I get the refining job done at Checkmate here, I'll hop back onto the USA server cluster and see if we can get a little bit better latency here. I'm glad to have everybody on tonight. Don't be afraid to say hello. We don't bite. $15 minutes left on that Volta cargo timer. We're doing great. And I know some of you don't like mining in Pyro. Some prefer Stanton. It's all good. I just prefer Pyro at the moment. I'm really liking the payout on those tier S minerals. So, and there's no chance of running into that stuff in Stanton for sure. But we didn't find any on this particular run, but we did find a little bit of quantanium that survived a catastrophic overcharge. And we ended up with 43 SCU of Terranite and 10 of quantanium. So not a total loss on the mining run here. So let's go ahead and get back to checkmate, get our ship repaired. We'll switch back to the US of A. All right, and there's our hangar. We'll try not to red out as we slow down our velocity here. And off we go, guys. And for those that are curious, back in plenty of time.
Landing gear down. Mining mode on.
All right, let's get her parked and repaired. You guys are going to love this repair bill. Are you ready?
Engines off. Engines. System.
Even turning stuff off is lagging out. Okay. Okay, you ready for this? Okay, 280,000. Most of that's just Ryger. 180,000 of that's putting the Ryger C3s back on the front mining head. And let's go ahead and get our mole stored now that she's been repaired, so that we stop that countdown timer. We'll get a refining job going. There she goes. Not sure what happened there. Yikes. Wow. Okay, let's get back to the refinery. Like I said, the verse is just being weird tonight, folks. It's not good. It is not in a happy spot. Not in a happy place at all. Probably contributed to our mining issues tonight. So like I said, we'll try hopping back onto the US of A here. All right. So we'll set up our first work order. We're going to not refine the inert or the corundum. All right, there we go. Okay, so let me bring up Regolith real quick for you guys, and let's take a look and see what we got. Okay, so if we go to our calculator here, there's a work order calculator. And I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm on this one. There we go. Work order accepted. So on the quantanium, let's do that one first. We have 905. So that's going to be 265,480 for that. Okay. So 265 roughly. And let's do the Terranite next. And the yield on this one is going to be 3669. So 356,421. So like I said, you know, if you're in a mole and you're in a solo crude mole, you should be able to pull out 500,000 easy every time you make a run out into the verse. So let's go ahead and get the OBS display off here. There we go. And so that is not out of the realm of possibility at all to do 500,000 per run. Pretty easy actually to do 1.2 to 1.5 if you don't blow shit up. Actually, I don't even need to. Yeah, let's go ahead and head back to the hangar. Maybe I'll. So what we're going to do now is we'll head back to the hangar and then I'll hop back onto the US cluster here and see if we have a little bit better luck. All right, so we'll exit to menu. And then go back in here and choose USA. And see what we can see. We'll call up our mole again and head on out. But yeah, anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million each mining run out here in Pyro. With the mole. So even with all our even with our problems and mistakes and things like that, we still are going to manage to pull out $250,000 after fixing everything. Okay. And let's get things a little bit. Back to the elevator and back to the hangar we go. And let's see if we have a little bit more luck this time. So it's going to spit us out into the lobby first here. Pulling 119 FPS here at Checkmate. Not too bad. In 4K. And pretty smooth too, I might add. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Alpha Infinity Tech. We're live in the verse tonight. The verse is nice for a minute and then not so nice. Then nice again and then not so nice again, that's for sure. So we'll see if we can get a little bit more cooperation from the US of A cluster tonight. Earlier, we weren't able to scan, so we hopped over to EU, which was a mistake. Because we definitely ended up with some lag issues over there. Blew up a couple of rocks, but still managed to come out with 500,000 in refined material. All right, back to the mole here. And I'm just going to pop into storage real quick. And grab a few more goodies. Okay, we have 3 of those, and let me grab a couple of mining gadgets too. There's a Sabir. We'll have 2 of those on board. And should I take a Bormax? You guys tell me. I mean, I don't know. I'm so not impressed with the way those are acting lately. But we'll take one just in case. All right. We're definitely dressed appropriately for the Pyro universe tonight. And off we go here. So we'll do a hop and a skip back to Ignis. And I'm going to make sure we have all our stuff back on here like we should. Oh, this is not good. Can't open the door. There we go. Door is really slow. The PU is just not good tonight. Yikes. Okay, let's Alt F4 out and try coming back. I think we're going to do one more mining run tonight, folks. We're just not having a ton of luck here. All right, let's see what we can do here. And hopefully we get past the lag issues in the verse and get back to mining. All right, we're back. All right, let's get powered up. And let's check out the mining heads real quick. Just make sure that we do in fact have all our modules. Looks like 3 C3s on the front. And I see 3 modules on the Helix 2. Yep. And let's go check out the other side. Just like it should be. Okay. Back to Ignis. Let's get this done. Just selecting a destination tonight is just really a pain here.
Launch complete. Landing gear up.
And I'm going to check in with chat. Yikes. Not good. Not able to scan even right here, which is not a good thing. Yep, trying to scan right now, not having any luck.
Weapons off.
There we go. All right. Now let's see if we can fly. Let me get out of the chair and get back in. Okay, now we can fly. Now let's see if we can set a destination. Okay, we can now set a destination. Things are looking up.
Shields closed.
Get into the right SCM mode here.
Mining mode off. Quantum travel.
And we're off. All right, let's see if we can go find some minerals. Humble, welcome to the verse, my man. Thanks for being on the stream tonight. I'm having some issues. Yeah, but we're getting I think we're getting things under control. It's just we couldn't scan on the USA cluster. Popped over to the European cluster and could scan there, but the lag was really bad. So now I'm coming back here. And we're going to try doing some mining tonight on Ignis. And I ended up overcharging 2 rocks because of latency. So we're back on the USA cluster and things are looking up. And I'm going to go grab a soda real quick and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay. 12 out from Pyro 5, and we'll see what we can see here. So hopefully we can find some tier S stuff tonight. Rixite, Styleron, Quantanium. I'm good with any of the above. Anyway, there's a little debate going on in chat about the size of the rocks that you can break with the Prospector. And Huck, I've never managed to break an 80K rock with a Prospector before. I think the biggest I was able to do was about 8,000. That's just me. All right, we're gonna go to outer marker 4 here, orbital marker 4, sorry. And we're gonna hit one more, maybe. Nope, it's gonna give us direct line of sight out to Ignis, so we're gonna hit Ignis from here. And welcome everybody to the stream tonight. All right, let's hit that North Pole orbital marker there. Should be this one right here. There we go. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing some Drake Golem mining. Oh, we're obstructed. So let's do some yeah, because the Helix is the regular C3 is giving you 100 or 75%, isn't it? And then the Stampede and Surge, the Surge is another 100 and the Stampede's 125, right? I can't remember all the stats on those, but all right, and we're gonna head straight down from right here. So I got the cruise control turned on. Let me get you guys a nice view there as we descend down into the planet. Beautiful view. Look at that. I know Humble Monk's a big fan of Stanton, but this is one of the reasons I like Pyro so much. Andre, welcome, my friend. Glad to have you on the stream. Speaking of the crew, Humble, have you heard from any of the old crew at all? Galactic Hazard or any of those guys? Alpaca Actual, I remember him. I know Galactic Hazard was running his own Discord server there for a while, but give you guys another external view here. We got to try and get the band back together sometime. All right, we'll see some atmospheric friction here in just a moment. And then we'll go, and scanning is working. What a beautiful place to mine. Oh, Humble, I did go out and buy that mole paint that you told me about, by the way, the blue and white one. I did pick that one up. Had to have it. So on my stream this weekend, I will be sporting that paint in honor of you, my friend. All right, and we're in the we're headed in. So let's see what we can see here. And we'll shallow out our descent a little bit. And kind of point right into the sun. There we go. And let's get cruise control off and start a decel maneuver here. And let's make sure that our... Look at that already. And look at all these returns already. Okay. So there's a 14.2 and a 17.5 and a 12.6. So nothing too exciting just yet. Let me slow my rate of descent here. Let's get our vector indicator. That's not anything we're interested in mining, so let's head towards the next return. So a couple of things that I like about Ignis is the amount of speed you can get. Pyro 1, you're maxing out at like 150 meters a second. But out here on Ignis, you can push 300 with the right SCM mode. All right, we're back and we're mining, so let's get the party started. I'm not mining gold tonight, guys, so just so you know, we're not going to be doing that at all. So no gold, and I'd prefer actually not to mine any Terranite, Laranite, Bexite. I'd prefer not to do any of that tonight if I can avoid it. Really just looking for tier S stuff. Makes those cargo runs with refined material back to Area 18 worth it. Okay, so we got one more. Yeah, there's a Terranite. Okay, let's keep on trucking here. 12.6, not really interested. 19. All right, I'm going to turn back into the sun and get some speed going here. And we'll pass on the gems. You rock miners got some work to do out here. That is a beautiful sight right there. Amazing. And we'll get a little bit lower in altitude here. And let's see what the verse has in store for us tonight, shall we? And if you guys like my stream, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing if you like my content. And let's go check and let's check this out and see what we can see here. I'm gonna add a little negative reverse thrust here. There we go. Decent size, but not what we're looking for. Definitely not mining titanium tonight. Very small. Okay, well, I'm taking that rock home. Look at that beauty. So we got 53 resistance. So you guys know what I'm gonna do next, right? And Humble made a good point. 10 on Ignis has Styleron or Rixite, or however you guys want to pronounce it. And if I'm pronouncing it wrong, all I can say is I'm a native Texan, and we have our own brand of English out there, so I'll just blame that. Okay, let's and don't hold that against me. Humble saying it's Rissite. Okay. Here's our Sabir. Upside down, of course. Ay, ay, ay. Got a negative number on this guy. So 73 all the way over there. Not getting a lot of movement on the field range. And the propagation's definitely not going to put us over the top. Let's find a different spot. Oh, Ricite. Okay. All right. There we go. A little bit better. So 97 on the waveform accuracy. I'll take that. Let's see if we can get a little bit better. Nope. Oh yeah. Well, yes, we can. 99. There we go. Okay. So we got a 53K mass rock here. Quantanium. And I think we have the perfect setup for this rock, but we're about to find out, aren't we? Yeah, I got a double surge, and this will make you happy, Humble Monk. I have a double surge and a stampede on my starboard side Helix 2 here. Okay, so that brought us down to 26 resistance. The instability is actually not a bad thing. Get within range here. We'll get about 15 degrees nose up, maybe 10, between 10 and 15. And just to show the new guys on the, you would think that with 3 Riger C3s on this Helix 2 that we'd be able to bust this rock. But if you see this right here, you'll notice that we're not even gonna touch it with this laser. And we got to be in the right SCM mode, so let me go fix that real quick. But even with 3 Ryger C3s, we're not going to be able to bust this rock. So, Humble, what do you think? You think the better plan is a Bormax or a Sabir on this rock? What do you think?
Shields on. Mining mode on.
All right, so I'll just show these guys real quick. So we're super close. We're 5 meters out. Like I'm barely off this rock. And with this particular laser, we max out at about 31, 32 maybe on this particular setup with these 3 Ryger C3s. So that's why we can't use this laser on this rock. That's why we have to go to the Helix 2 with the 2 surges and the Stampede module. All right, here we are. So we're 19 meters out. And here we go. We're off to the races. All right, let's ride the optimal all the way home, guys. Stay with me now. Stay with me. Nice and easy. Let's go. Nice and easy. Come on. There she goes. All right, so that was a 53K quantanium rock. Let's see if there's anything else before I start scooping, because once I scoop, I gotta go home. Humble, I know you think that break was a little messy, and you're right. But, okay, so I don't think we had any other rocks in here that were worth taking home tonight besides that one. I just want to make sure before we commit. Bexelite. Eh. So we got a 5K Bexelite rock. There's not going to be anything else in here that's really worth. So we'll scoop that quantanium and go home. All those are very small. And there's nothing else real close that I would want to scoop or break anyway. Let's just double check though. Okay. Let's get the party started right here on this guy. So we got slightly into the overcharge, but it managed to come out before it broke. So we probably inerted a little bit of the material, but overall a pretty clean break. That's my biased take on it. All right. Wow, that's a nice all right, let's get the power up on the Hofstede. Nice and easy. We don't want to screw things up on the easier break. Even with that Focus 3 module, look at how that optimal is right there. We're not in any hurry on the sub break here. We'll take it nice and easy. Bring up that charge level nice and slow. Look how we're in the optimal. Gonna stay low optimal on this. Look at that though. Isn't that strange? See how that optimal's still going? Even though we're not. Okay, let's work on this one next. Okay, get our laser intensity down here. There we go. And that optimal's a lot nicer on this fragment, but nice easy break on this one. There she goes. Okay, next. Basically, I just want to be able to scoop and run here. So we're going to break everything, scan everything. That was 25%, so we'll go ahead and bust that one as well. A little bit further out, but that's the nice thing about the Hofstede is it can reach out and touch someone. Give you guys a nice external view here of this break. There she goes. Okay, next. People ask me all the time, what's the best way to make money in the Star Citizen universe? And the best way to make money is the way that you have fun making money. For me, it happens to be the industrial gameplay side of things, the mining. For others, it might be bounty hunting. For others, it could be space trucking, you know. And for the criminals, it might be looting and stealing and blowing stuff up. And then, of course, there's the salvage side of the equation if you want to get into that. So, like I said, whatever you have fun doing, that's the best way to make money. All right, I believe it is time that we scan and scoop now. That was 99% titanium. 34. Just going to grab the good stuff here first. 37. 35. I'm not going to leave them on the ground, but I just want to see if there are some. 27. Okay, let's bust that one as well. Having a little bit more luck here on the USA cluster, not as much latency.
Attack on shields. Extraction mode on.
1.15. Okay. So probably what we're going to end up doing is we're going to scoop from the front here and work our way back. So we'll start with that one right there. And that refining bug got me, so I did not sell off my material. I didn't sell direct, so it's still in my hold from the last mining run. That sucks. All right, we got to break that one. And we're into the countdown timer, and it's okay. We got plenty of time. We're doing great here. We'll push this one a little faster just because we don't have all night.
Warning. Power critical.
All right. And let's keep on scooping, shall we? There's a nice shard right there. We'll definitely want that one. Another nice one. Still got 22 minutes. All this time. Didn't the countdown timer used to be 15 minutes, Monk? I thought it was. More titanium. You guys get 25 minutes now. 100%. Yeah, we're getting into some nicer shards over here for sure. It was 15. I was like, why do we have so long now? Not that I'm complaining. It's just, you know, it seems like it's a lot less stressful. Okay, that's all titanium. There we go. 100%. I'll take that. Got a couple hiding in back here. Yeah, Pyro is big. I mean, the commute is definitely there. 23. What's this one right behind it? $32, 23, 1. I'm almost full, so I want to make sure the last one I get is a good one. 24. 11. 27. 35. Well, this one's going to be the one that goes home with us. We'll take that one too. And that'll be it. Oh, no, we got one more. And that'll be a full hold right there, unfortunately. All right. Let's get our laser turned off and let's head back to the barn. And this time we shall sell off everything. So that was a nice quantanium rock, 54 and some change, I believe. Stuck a Sabir on it to get that resistance down. Let's get checkmate plugged in to our quantum calculator here. There she is, not that close. We know that. Okay. And we are out of here. And I'll bring up Regolith for you guys once we get back to the back to checkmate here, and we'll see how much this is going to be. We'll direct sell the titanium and the corundum. And we'll refine the quantanium. Look at that, Humble. My mole's looking a little... She's looking a little bit used now. Getting some wear on this beautiful gray cack paint. See that? And let's turn the quantum drives back on here. Beautiful day out here on Ignis, I gotta admit. Really nice looking. And off we go. And let's see where we're at on our mining timer. There we go. 15 minutes left. Back in the day, I'd have 5 minutes and 44 seconds left, and I'd be sweating it right about now. All right, my friends, we're almost back to the barn here. And almost there.
Quantum travel complete.
All right, and with 13 minutes left on the countdown timer. Wow. All right, let's get some thrust going here. And we'll get our vector indicator, our vector prediction indicator here off the space station. There we go. And decel and get our hangar allocated. And what is that right there? Is that a Polaris? Look at that.
Mining mode off.
Let me see what's let's see which pane he's running here. Pretty. What a pretty ship. Don't see a lot of those out this way all the time. But now that I got a blinking yellow light, we probably should get into the hangar.
Docking initiated.
Oh, that wasn't a docking request. That was a landing gear, but okay. So we'll just park in the hangar here and get the mole stored for the evening. If you guys haven't checked out my Asperia Talon or Stinger video yet, check it out. I have somewhat of a critical take on it. Very expensive ship at 300 US. And I'm not exactly sure really what you're supposed to do with it. It's very pretty. It's very well done. You can tell he put a lot of work into it, but anyway, check out that review and you guys let me know what you think. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate it. And if you liked my live stream tonight, please do me a favor and give me a thumbs up on the live stream. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. So before we end the night, we'll go ahead and get the mole stored here, and we'll go down to the refinery and see what we're gonna make on this run. And I know Humble Monk has already done all the calculations in his head. Dude's been mining for a long time. Okay, step one. Okay, there's our quantanium. I'm gonna dump everything else. So 3154, and I'm not gonna show you Regolith. You guys can check it out yourself if you want. But according to Regolith on this work order, we should be in the $830,000 range on this work order. So, not a bad night. And that's just on the quantanium. Now, it says that it's going to discard one or more materials. That is absolutely false. It is not going to do that. Because we're going to come over here to ore sales, and we're going to direct sell the junk on board, including the titanium. Maybe. There we go. And that'll give us 9,603 AUC, and that will get our mole emptied out. And so between these two orders, we had about a 1.2 million night tonight. Despite my best efforts to blow up my ship. And Humble, glad to have you on. Andre, thank you for joining. Michael, thanks for joining. And Huck, thanks for being here tonight, guys. Really appreciate it. Good seeing everybody again. And Humble, you have a good evening as well, my friend. And we'll see all of you again out in the verse soon. And everybody have a good night.